What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the E-commerce Influence Podcast. My name is Austin Bronner, and I have a solo cast today. I thought I'd do a little check-in, talk about what's been on my mind, what I've been thinking about, and we'll kick it off today with exciting stuff. Q4 is here, and Q4 is here. I've got an exciting training coming up for you, October 12th. It's titled How to Have Your Most Profitable Holiday Season Yet with Facebook and Instagram. And let me tell you what, we all need help on Facebook and Instagram. It's been a disaster. And I brought in Florian Littersk. Florian is a Facebook and Instagram ads extraordinaire. He's the founder of adsventure.de, and he's coming into the coalition to share what they're doing to have a profitable holiday season, have the best holiday season, despite all the challenges going on. So if you want to get in and get access to this training, again, whenever we do this type of stuff, we always turn it into a PDF so you can go through and get all the stuff, all of the interesting ideas in a very easily digestible format. You can watch it. You can show up live, asking questions. If you want to get access to it, head over to brandgrowthexperts.com/coalition, become a member, and you can get access to the training. What's been going on new for me? So one of the things that's been a big kind of game changer for me over the last 3 weeks is I have been doing this, The Artist's Way, which you guys might have heard of. It's a book by Julia Cameron. And every single day, it's like a 12-week program where it has journaling prompts. And it starts with some morning pages, and it's been great. It's one of the things that I've been interested in doing for a long time. I got recommended by a friend, and I just can't say enough about it because it forces you into a state where you have reflection every single day, day in and day out. So basically, if you want to do your own version of it, you can wake up. You write 3 pages first thing in the morning in a journal. May seem like a lot, but after a couple of weeks, it feels really good and does not feel like too much. Biggest things for me, more clarity around what I'm doing. I would say better mood as well. And yeah, so it's been good. What else is going on over here? Before I dive into kind of the story that I'm following, big news for me, September, I got COVID. So I was here at home for a couple of weeks. Pretty mild case, but still challenging nonetheless, where, there's something about being stuck in your house. I got it and my wife got it, and we were stuck the whole combined quarantine period was about 3 weeks. So lots of time to be at home, watch some shows, caught up on things. And for about 8-9 days, I really didn't have the capacity to do much work at all. So it's always interesting to see how it tests you and what you learn from it. For me, one of the things is just like setting small goals and continuing to move forward. But feeling better now, back to 100%, and happy to be back on the mic, talking to you guys. So what I wanted to do today was talk a little bit about a story that I've been following. One of the things that's been interesting, I had a conversation with a good friend of mine. He was talking about, he asked me, have you heard about the energy crisis? I was like, no, I haven't. What's going on? And then he told me a little bit about it. And he said there's been blackouts going across Europe and China. And I started diving into it because it's really, really interesting. So I'll read you kind of the headline, and we'll go into it a little bit, what I think is going to happen here, or what, something to be aware of. So coal shortages force blackouts across China is the headline on The Diplomat, which is a journal on Asian affairs. It said much of northeast China has been intermittently without power since Sunday as the country comes to grips with a litany of issues ranging from depleted coal inventories to far-reaching consequences of its national energy policy. On Sunday evening, one Jilin utility company, Jilin is the place where the blackout was, issued a notice that electricity cuts were expected to occur frequently until March 2020 and would be likely irregular, unplanned, and unannounced. Average daily temperature lows in Jilin's capital, Changchun, are 51 degrees in September, dropping to negative 19 in January. So, coal shortages forcing blackouts across China. Much of Northeast China has been hit by these. And it seems like we are going into a global energy crisis, right? If you've been following any of this news, it's interesting. Things are happening in Europe as well. They're at low levels of natural gas supplies. So why am I following this? Well, one, if you run a business and you have stuff, you create products in China, which many of you guys do, already been facing supply chain issues for the last year and a half. And now apparently there's going to be rolling blackouts consistently, frequently until March 2022. And again, that's around much of Northeast China. But when I was reading about it, a lot of the country is getting hit because they're having some issues with coal. Then another article comes out today. It says, "Don't rule out an energy crisis." Goldman Sachs. Talking about what's going to happen here in the United States. Again, this is happening in Europe. Natural gas supplies are incredibly low. It says, this is from the head of energy research at Goldman, says, when you head into winter with critically low inventories, it has the potential to be a crisis. It would take a cold winter to really face the risk of gas shortages. We're not at that point of blackouts in the U.S. We're not at that point of blackouts in the U.S. We're trying to manage the winter risk. Now, of course, given the risks of weather uncertainty, we are going to see extreme volatility. So what does that mean to me? That means that we are likely to see some blackouts in the United States. When it says we're not at the point, it would take a really cold winter. This last year living in Texas and having a week-long blackout at our house, I feel like we're in a better position to prepare for what could be coming our way. If we're already talking about how they're trying to manage winter risk, they're at critically low inventories going into winter. Winter hasn't even really started yet, not even, it's just becoming fall. Looks like we're going to face some sort of energy crisis. And so what am I doing? I mean, it sounds like this is going to be a wild winter. And so, we're going out, getting a generator, doing some preparation, all the things that, last year, again, in Austin, Texas, we got hit with a storm that knocked out power for a week. We had snow piled up, no infrastructure to deal with it. And, people were huddling up with each other. Some of the city had power, some did not. So if you're out there and you're thinking about what you can do, well, one, it sounds like this is going to be a pretty wild winter for business. And, we're going to have to prepare for this. If one of the other articles I was reading was it would just take an early frost to knock out power in certain places and overload the system. So one, we're going to be facing that. So if you're doing your planning and thinking about what we're dealing with this holiday season, potentially being out of power is one of the things. So it's maybe go stock up, buy a generator for your office, maybe buy a generator for your house, and figure out how to be able to keep things going if we're going to be dealing with blackouts. Anything, I think prepping this year is going to be big if you're running into, I don't think we're out of this thing. And it's been on my mind a lot, getting prepared, getting food, making sure there's not really much you can do seemingly with an energy crisis. It's like, can you make sure that you can turn the power on when you need it? And do you have enough food? So anyway, those are things I'm tracking right now. It's really interesting. We'll see where it goes from here, but that's what I've been thinking about and what to expect here on the podcast. I want to give you guys kind of a preview of some of the things I'm going into here, getting excited about. So in the last month and a half, I've got 3 friends who have flipped NFTs for over 6 figures. one of them in under 1 day. What does it even mean, flipping an NFT? Well, it means that they bought a piece of art, an NFT, and then they sold it a few days later, sometimes a few days later, sometimes literally in the same day, and made over 6 figures in profit. It is super interesting what's going on. And I'm going to do a podcast series on NFTs and decentralized finance. I am still a rookie here. I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on because it's very interesting. It's very exciting. And there are people out there that are doing some super cool things, and it's going to reverberate. It's something we will all be impacted by, and it's an opportunity for us to learn now and get into it. One of the reasons I've been thinking about this is just the insane increase in prices of houses. I live in Austin, which is one of the fastest growing markets, but you look at like the price of houses, and in the last 3 years, they basically doubled in downtown. Income for young people has not doubled, got nowhere close. And when you look at what's been happening on the decentralized finance and all these little cryptocurrencies, the amount of money the risk people have been taking and the amount of money that they've been returning, that is the path, I think, for a lot of young people to acquire property. It's through this. And so I'm going to explore it. Like I said, I'm still a rookie. You're going to benefit from me asking questions. And so I would like to know, what would you like to know? Do you have anyone in mind who you think would be a good interview? You can hit me up on Twitter at @A_Braun. On Twitter, look me up, tweet at me, tell me who you want to hear, what you're interested in, and I will put together a podcast series on NFTs and decentralized finance for entrepreneurs, for e-commerce entrepreneurs, so you guys can figure out what you should be paying attention to here. I'm excited. It should be really, really good. So anyway, this is a solo episode. I haven't done this in a while, but let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you on Twitter. Hit me up. Tell me, what are you thinking about? What's exciting? Until then, I will talk to you on the next episode.